What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Squawk and Seeds podcast, your favorite Pokemon podcaster's favorite Pokemon podcast. You know, I missed it. It's been so long. It's been a while since we did that. We're back, folks. We got the boys back together.
The boys are back in town.
They are
back in town.
It's like we never left. I am Kyle Rios, aka Koopa, one of your talking heads on this show, and I'm joined once again, back from the dead this week, the Pony Bottle champ, Mr. George Fabre. George, happy Tuesday. How you feeling, bud? We missed you last week.
I'm feeling good. I'm rejuvenated. I'm revived. I got a revive, a max revive on me, dude. I feel good, bro. It's funny. You said it earlier. Like, do you remember how to do this? I'm not sure I do. But then again, I'm not sure I ever did. So we'll see.
Yeah, Georgia caught something heinous last week. There's been something terrible going around. COVID cases are up again. It's the flu season. It's just this real disgusting time to go outside right now. And I'm just kind of
something waiting in the water.
Yeah, it ain't good. But we're back. Everyone's healthy and happy. We got some stuff to talk about this week. We got the Merida Regional Championships to talk about. This that happened this past weekend. It'll probably be
the Azul GG Championships, because that's the only thing anybody talked about.
Yeah, it's Azul is really, really good at the Pokemon trading card game, and we'll talk all about it. Obviously, that's going to have big implications on EUIC coming up in a few weeks. That matters to George because he's going to be going across the pond.
Unfortunately.
We got some new cards we can talk about. They got revealed, some more trainers Pokemon coming out that we previously got alluded to, in a trailer at Worlds. We got a little bit of a better idea of what some of those are going to look like. And we're going to talk about the Super Bowl too, of course. People seem to enjoy when we talk about sports on this podcast. And then we'll have this week's edition of Squawk or Seized, everybody's favorite, this or that question game. And again, I'll start how I do every week. Georgie, buddy, I haven't seen you in a week. How are you feeling? How's your week? How's your work day? How are things in the Fabre household?
Listen, man, work just got real, and I'm real sad about it. It's just, there was some restructuring done in the company at the old point of sale land, and man, my life is shit. So other than that, man, I'm good, bro. Like I played on a cup on Saturday, did fairly well, got top 4, lost to our Chaludon, our Caledon, whatever the hell his name is, the big bridge dude. Iono's the fakest card in the world. I've been playing Guardy. I've been thinking I'm enjoying it. And then I saw Merida pop off with Azul, and now I'm scared shitless. So I don't know if I'm playing that. I don't know what I'm doing. My life's in shambles. You know what? I'm not good. My life's in shambles.
This might be the first time ever on a podcast where someone's asked like the hypothetical "how you doing" question, and you're just like, "I'm not doing good right now, Chief."
No. How about you, pal? How you feeling? How you living?
I'm doing all right. It's been, again, a little bit crazy in my neck of the world, too, for my day job. Just a lot of moving stuff around. It's been very busy, just trying to keep my head above water. I caught something kind of serious. I caught a little bit of a bug after getting back from Texas also, so I'm still kind of coming down from that. That's why content was a little slow for a while. Just busy, dealing with this time of the year where everybody gets sick. But other than that, we're doing all right. I played not a lot of Pokemon last week. George went to did you do 3 cups in a row? 2 challenge? What did you do last week? Did you do 2 cups last weekend?
A challenge, a Highlander, a cup. No, just 2.
It was just 2.
And then a cup on Saturday. We were supposed to go to a big cup in New York, but then, Mr. Harrell, the beast himself, he's just a lazy guy, honestly. He's just lazy as shit, and I hate him. So there you go.
You hate him so much, you're leaving the country with him. So,
oh god, it's gonna be such a shit show.
Here, I'm kind of worried. You guys might. You have your location straight with me, right?
Sure.
All right. Well, we'll figure it out. Just blink twice if you're being held hostage. But now, other than that, I'm doing all right. I didn't play a lot of Pokemon last week. I was just busy with other stuff. The format is kind of like, it's kind of not super important to me right now because I'm not really going to anything big until post rotation. At the time this will be going up, we'll see if either of us have or are decided to go get into Atlanta. Reg for that goes up tomorrow.
I'm
So
not going to go for the first wave. I'm telling you right now. If I just can't fathom it right now. To man, I'll be honest with you. Like,
you're
spend a
doing a lot
lot.
of traveling, so I don't blame you.
I'm
So
tired, dude. I'm just tired. Sick and tired of being sick and tired. You know.
you're preaching to the choir, but yeah, by the time this goes up, registration will either have capped or, you still have a chance to sign up. So make sure you go do that. Hopefully, I'm going to try to get on the first try. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to lose sleep over it if I don't. I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm just kind of like a little burnt out from all the traveling I've been doing, but yeah, we'll see how that goes tomorrow or this week for you guys. Good luck to you. But yeah, the format doesn't really matter a whole lot to me right now. I'm just kind of playing what I find fun, and sometimes it's Lugia, and Lugia sometimes stinks. Maridon's fun, but sometimes Maridon stinks, and I don't know where any of my Dragon Ball cards are, so I haven't been able to build that deck in paper yet. It's somewhere in my house. I'm having a George Fabre problem where I don't know where any of my cards are when I'm sure they're probably right in front of me.
They're probably right where you don't think they are.
Probably. I've gone through like 8 boxes of bulk cards, so I have to maybe dig a little bit deeper. Look inside myself to find
I was trying to be funny
cards
when I said that, but like also whenever I find my cards, they're exactly where I never would have looked. So if that
why were
helps
they in
you,
the fridge?
yeah. Why am I freezing these cards?
It's like freezing your jeans so you don't have to wash them.
Yeah,
You're right about that. Yeah, that's freaking crazy.
exactly.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm just kind of
Insane.
having I'm just kind of having fun right now. I'm don't really have a lot of stock invested in this in the format. I'm going to go to a few cups and stuff. I'm sure by the time everything goes away, uh, in April. But I'm just kind of hanging out. Taking doing my thing, playing some decks that I find enjoyable at the moment, and one of those decks being Maridon. And we'll talk about. I guess we could talk about it now. The Merida Regional Championships happened this past weekend. Big U.S. Population at this regional in Mexico. Merida's a lot closer to travel to for like a lot of East Coaster, like a lot of East Coast U.S. players than I would have thunk. This tournament was won by none other than the GOAT himself, getting his, I think, 8th regional championship of all time. Azul Garcia Griego, who has attended one tournament this season. And Azul's been very vocal in how he's kind of like, hey, I'm going to go to, like, I think he said he's going to 4 tournaments this year. And if he doesn't get his Worlds invite, he doesn't get it. He seemed pretty content, not going on the grind this year. And bro did exactly what I thought he was going to do. He's going to spike a regional, and
I don't understand why this was one of them.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't. I was kind of thinking that too. I was like, really? Like, all the ones you could have gone, like this one?
It's so random. I don't get it.
It's strange. It's maybe you like turn it into a vacation on top of that. I couldn't tell you. Like Sacramento, I think Sacramento like was the first one he went to this season, which like makes a lot of sense. The Zools currently lives in the West Coast, so like that one doesn't surprise me. This one's just like I couldn't tell you what was going on in Merida. Maybe it's the fact that it's a Mexican regional. It might be a little bit of a smaller sample size, maybe trying to spike and make a bigger splash in a smaller pool. But regardless,
he did it. He did it.
He went ahead and did it with Maridon. What I find to be a very like there was I think top 14 symmetrical cut this time around. He went up against Mauricio Patino, who is I can only describe him as Gouging Fire's strongest soldier. So I don't know if you caught any of the streamed footage. Shout out to the Beach Court podcast guys for recording the finals. But
yeah, like good on them. I just couldn't watch that crap. It was just all right. That was rude. I take that back. It's not crap. It's just that we're just so used to like quality streams
Yeah,
that like when I was watching it and like they're like not commentary, but like the talking in the background was just driving me nuts because they were like kind of talking about the game, like they were commentating, like casting it almost, but they
sure.
weren't at the same time at all. So
Yeah.
like I was kind of like, can you guys just either say nothing or I don't know. I sound so rude right now. I sound so judgy. I'm not trying to sound like that, but I guess
No,
that's
I get
how I
it.
feel.
Yeah, it's like we have such an expectation when we watch these things streamed at home. Unfortunately, LatAm events don't get streamed. Um, but so again, gotta give credit where credit's due. Eric and Maddox, they're good guys down at the Beach Court podcast. And again, it's a lot to take in. You're already watching a game being recorded on another screen of somebody else's screen. There's a lot going on in the background. I think the word you might have been looking for is like, not to sound like in a derogatory term, but like the peanut gallery. Like,
Yeah, like
yeah, just like a lot
yeah.
of like talking in the background. And I get it, like, it's everyone's just gonna try to you're gonna get a lot more of like a rustic feel, in that sort of environment. It's something that I'm actually very used to, coming from the Super Smash Brothers community. There is a time where like there's a time where like there's so many good matches going on throughout the course of like a top 32 bracket at the end of the weekend that you have people literally going around on their phones, like, Facebook living like screen recorded matches. So like that kind of made me feel at home, but I can understand someone that like doesn't really watch a lot of Pokemon streams. If that's their first exposure to like what the heck's going on, it's like, oh God, like that's tough. But that being said though, I did watch a decent amount of it while also watching the football game. It was quite tragic how things ended for Mauricio, getting donked in the last game. So you got any thoughts here on Azul's Merida list? Any thoughts on the top cut at all? How are you? Where's your head at as someone that's going to be playing in a format like this in a serious capacity?
16 lightning energy. Yikes.
It's a choice. It's a choice.
And he just hit every generator from the first. Like I watched like a little bit of the first game. I'm like, bro, don't miss. Like he doesn't miss. And like Azul is very big on like shuffling. So like you can't even like say like he did something weird. Like I'm not even trying to throw those allegations out there, but the like I guess what I'm trying to say is if you're across from him and you're seeing him hit all these generators, you are just in disbelief.
Yep. You sold your soul to the Maridon God at this point. I think that 16th energy truly did. I don't want to say how much of a difference it made. But the big thing I'm noticing in his list is that he opted to not play the Pokemon Go Zapdos, which felt like a meta call. I guess it's one of those things where you feel like you maybe don't need it. I think that 16th energy, uh, easily could have been a Pokemon Go Zapdos if you think you're going to see more like, I don't know, maybe it helps you out in the mirror. 230 is a pretty crucial number to hit, uh, in the early game with Maridon in certain matchups. But it didn't seem like Azul missed it very much. Otherwise, the list seems pretty chalk and pretty standard. I do like the Rotom V as well, because I do think that leaves you on a better like ending note on your first turn. If you're going to be forced to go first in some matchups, which I'm sure Azul was forced to go first in a lot of games, or maybe certain games he opted to go first, just blind first. So I don't know. I like it. It's pretty good.
Yeah. I feel like with the gouging fire list, I'm looking at it now. Like he definitely had opportunities to do some stuff like where he can knock out that Pikachu. 'Cause the thing with like the Maridon list, there's really no recovery. There's one stretcher in the Zul's
Yeah.
list. If you knock out the Pikachu and Iono, like what are they like? You kind of just lose your whole board. Like what do you do? Right? And with Monkey Dory in that list, all right, Adrenabrain, and then let me go knock out with like Anti V for 170 on Pikachu. Like it's kind of like it should have been favored in my mind, but Azul is just, I mean, he's one of the best players in North America for a reason. So the one thing that I really want to call out, Kyle, I want to hear your thoughts on it. We did see a lot of Dragapults in the like top 16, but none of them in the top four. You had one in top eight with Aiden. Kuz. Same basically list that Andrew won with at the Cup. And that's what I've been playing. That's what I'm going to be playing this week. He's playing a Temple of Sinnoh in there. I can imagine because he's afraid of Lugia, and the Lugia matchup is pretty bad. So that's an interesting inclusion from me by looking at this. I'm like, okay, that's good. One Earthen Vessel is a choice, and sure, cool. I don't know if I'd do that, but um, and no Crispin, which I thought was also a little bizarre. But I think this is kind of what Dragapult looks like. You got to play Vacuum. Um, you got to play Crystal, the two Rare Candy, the two Dusknoir, the three Duskull also really committing to that like setup on there too. So I like the list right here, and I see the thought process. I think that this type of Dragapult, we didn't see it this much in this tournament. EUIC, I think you see a lot of it. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I agree. I think this is a good skeleton for what you can expect from the Dragapult list. I do like the addition of the third Duskull. I don't know if it's just me. Whenever I've been playing this list online, I always prize one of the Duskull. I always feel like I'm always prizing one, and I'm never able to get both established. So I think Aiden's and also played the same list as Mr. World Warrior himself, Brent Tonneson, who just finished out of top 8 at ninth. They both played the same 60. So there's I think there's maybe room for like 5 flex cards in this deck, and we've seen them. Do you play Crispin or do you play Turo? Do you value tanking a hit from something and then being able to just erase damage and then, reestablish another Dragapult later? I personally don't know if I like Turo that much because I feel like it puts pressure on you to get a turn attachment every turn, and I just don't think you always have that flexibility with Dragapult. Temple, I think, is a meta choice if you think you're going to see a lot of Lugia. You've seen that stadium spot go to Artisan, especially if you're going to be if you expect to see the mirror. It gives you an out to item lock to kind of get more of your board established. Some lists are even playing Jamming Tower to kind of like shut, maybe turn off your in the mirror, turn off the other opponent's Sparkling Crystal or turn off for a Seal Stone. Those tools are obviously still very efficient. Um, Other than that, everything seems pretty chalk. I think the Lost Vacuum, I think it might be a must. You see some lists even play Tubadoo, like even doubling down on the fact it's like, listen, if I'm gonna go second, I'm pigeonholing myself into this exact archetype. I'm not allowing my opponent to I'm not going to let my opponent get off the ground easy here. So I think you're going to see people play a lot of this list. Obviously, I think this gives you a lot of flexibility into a lot of matchups, but I think there's still room for flex cards in here. And again, you see it littered throughout the asymmetrical cut here. I believe there is another list here. Yeah, the 10th place list opted to play a Crispin. They're playing a Lost City as their stadium, which I find very interesting. So
I was going to bring that up too. Like I
yeah,
kind of like that because
I think I like it a lot. Actually,
your bench isn't safe. You know, you could
yeah,
loss zone stuff on the bench. You know, the other thing too is I want to bring up some Gardevoir stuff. Obviously, I've been playing Gardevoir. I've been
yeah.
playing with the Tatsugiri build. It could be fake, could be not. I don't know. Been having fun, enjoying it. But Michael Davidson here, along with um, Gabriel Smart, played the same list. Interesting A spec choice. Did you notice that one, Kyle?
The Hero's Cape.
Yeah. Also, 3 TM Evos, really committing to that play, going second. Also, the Mawile is one thing that I've been speaking with Omar about. Kind of miss it, right? Like it's another win condition at the end of the game to just
Yeah.
stall out your opponent if they get rid of all their switches, and especially a lot of these decks right now. Like you look at Maridon. How are you beating Maridon? It's clearly your worst matchup. They play the Latias, right? And if they go through their switch carts early and they get rid of them, Mawile at the end of the game is a win condition. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
they and if you could trap something like the Pikachu, trap something like a
Squawkabilly.
Squawkabilly, even the Latias, right? Like they can't move. So um, one thing that I think is a big throw, though, like can't believe they're not playing it, is Fluttermane because that card is just absolutely busted. If I look at like Calvin Connor's list, he's playing that plus the Mawile, plus the Tatsugiri, plus Manaphy. and the one TM Evo in there, but also different aspect than we've been seeing because like I everybody I know is all on unfair stamp. They're all Calvin Connor over here playing hyper aroma. Um, which also I think is good. And that's something Mike Bio was talking to me about too. He's like, it just seems kind of busted in the mirror. If you can, you go first, go into hyper aroma, go into Badu and item lock, not bad. So seeing a lot of different variations of Gardevoir. I don't think anybody knows it exactly where to be. Man, I wish Henry Chow played in this competition so we could all just copy his list and play it to EUIC. But because he is by far the guarded goat right now.
Yeah, I think it was Nick Moffat that said it on Twitter after San Antonio that Henry Chow might be the best person to ever pick up a psychic energy card. So I'm sure he's cooking up something crazy if he's going to EUIC. I'm not sure. What I like about these, going back to like Michael and Gabe's list, again, those guys test very closely. Michael Davidson was a top 8 worlds finisher this past year. So one of the best young players the game has right now. The finalist at I think it was the Louisville regionals as well. So good. I like the 3 monkey Dory. I think you're really leaning into the strategy of picking apart your opponent's board. Not necessarily going for the big knockout in one turn. You're trying to take multiple prize knockouts by moving damage around. I agree. I think the Flutter Mane, again, I think there's room for a lot of flex cards in these deck, and both of these lists are opting to not even play the Badu. So, I mean, it's an option you also have. So, again, I think, and I do think the Hero's Cape is interesting. I think I remember, I want to say it was Josh Frank. I think I read someone's tweet about it online about like why you play the Hero's Cape. It just kind of gives you, it protects your bigger guys. It obviously allows you to hit bigger caps of damage as well. So, into your more frustrating matchups like Maridon, like Lugia, which can be a little annoying sometimes depending on what Lugia opts to play. That was a deck I was expecting to see a lot of this weekend as well. Didn't do too great. None in the top 16. Highest placing one is Eder, but we're not going to talk about that. But we're going to talk about Lugia as a concept instead. That deck is the other big deck that got something new out of this newest set with the Regigigas. You're seeing a much more of a toolbox approach with Lugia. You're cutting down your Cinchino lines to make room for Regigigas, and now the Drapion V, because if you're going down on Rats, you don't have a real reliable way to knock out Gardevoir. So I still think this is a deck that can perform well if the room sets itself up for it. So I still think that that's probably going to be one of like the top 3 decks going into EUIC. So a lot, and that also just bring it right back around. It bodes well for Maridon. If Lugia is a good deck in the room, Maridon by the water rising also becomes a decent choice. So
that's what I want to talk to you about, right? Obviously Azul does really well with Maridon. Whenever Maridon does really well, like people just pick it up all the time. Do you think the EUIC, being that it's a European international, going to be mainly European players there? Now, a lot of people stateside, obviously, there's still going to be a good amount.
yeah.
Do you think the influence is going to be there with Azul's GG, or you just have enough quality players that aren't just going to, for lack of a better word, sheep their way into a Maridon deck for UIC?
I mean, I think Maridon's always been looked at one of those decks. It's just like it's good until it's not. Like whenever Maridon like spikes in popularity, then there's the other counters of it kind of come back into the fray to kind of bring it back down to earth. Obviously, Charizard is one that comes to mind immediately. So Charizard might see like a slight pop and playability, but even then, like those decks are it's hard to warrant a deck like that, especially in a field with Badu. So I think Maridon is real until proven not to be. So I still think it's going to be a good choice. I think people like this deck. It's a popular deck archetype. I think now that you kind of have a blueprint of what what is good in this deck, I think people are going to take, you can easily take Azul's list and just kind of copy paste it. Again, maybe you change out that energy card for like, the Zapdos or you don't. So,
that's what Caleb Rogerson.
Yeah, the long and short of it, yes.
That's what Caleb Rogerson did. It's like basically the same list for the most part. but he has 15 energy and then one Zapdos Pokemon Go in
And I
there.
think he also did, my big thing about his list is that he didn't opt to play Hisuian Heavy Ball, and that is a non-negotiable for me in this list. I think you have
Yeah,
to play Heavy Ball.
that is kind of ballsy for
You
sure.
play too many one-ofs in this deck to not prize one of them when you need it. So I think,
Yeah, you're right.
but other than that, I think that the blueprint of this deck is more or less the same. So I do think it's going to be very popular to where people are going to play it. And again, if that's the case, then maybe you see Charizard rise up in the standings a bit. I don't know, man. I still think like
Don't say that to me. Don't do it.
yeah,
You know what happens. You know what
I
happens to
know.
me right before every tournament. I chicken
I mean,
out.
look, also look at how it did this weekend. Like, I'm also looking at like the two decks that like I assumed were gonna fall flat on their face. Did fall flat on their face. Charizard and Regidrago are just nowhere to be seen here. There's the highest placing Charizard list is out at 81st. Highest placing Drago list is out in 54th. So
Technically, no. 81st was the first Pidzard. But before that, the first Charizard deck is 79th with Yalevo Jimenez.
that's right, Poltzard. Okay,
Poltzard, yeah. Which, goddamn, that thing is ugly, huh? What the hell?
there's a lot going on in this list. I kind of like this deck archetype, low key. I enjoy it. You get the benefit of having the draw engine with the Dracloaks. You have a good early game attacker in Dragapult. You have one of the best end game attackers in Charizard. I kind of dig it. There's just so much going on in these lists. I like the one
Yeah.
of Lance. I like the Kieran is like the hero's cape, brother. What's going
I don't
on
know.
here?
That's why I saw it, the Heroes game. I'm like, what are we doing? What is going on, bro? Yeah, but shout out to Ant Cavera. He played that shit in NAIC. Almost made day 2 with it, I think. So maybe it's a thing. I doubt it. I think it's stupid and ugly. No one likes it. You like
I
it.
just think it's
Yeah.
tough. I feel like I'm trying to operate under item lock makes this deck it makes it helps it's gonna struggle a bit. A deck archetype I think that might be a little slept on. And one that I admittedly thought was maybe a little bit I slept on this deck archetype a little bit going in this format is the Cloth Terrapagos deck. I think bro, Badu with Binding Mochi should be like a Geneva Convention violation.
Badua Rabies goes nuts.
It's like one of those flowers your mom tells you not to pick, but you do it anyway because you're, 7 and stupid.
Yeah, you eat it and then you die and go to the hospital.
Yeah. And then you're like, wait, why is my throat closing?
Can you just imagine seeing like a poisoned Badoo just coming at you with like a big donut around its neck? Just
I'm folding. I'm
just going like this. Itchy pollen everywhere.
There's a reason I don't go outside, man. It's because of reasons like that. Yeah, just like being able to like knock out like your lone. Imagine start one Dreepy, start one Charmander, start one Ralts, and then you just get like Itchy Pollen plus Brute Bonnet plus Hisui and Sneasler, like and your item locked. It's just like it's like the Simpson meme of like stop, he's already dead. Like it's insane. It's so good.
Yeah, it's good and it's scary and it's frightening and people that play it are cringe, aka Harrell. So.
Hey man, I'm a cloth. I love me some
You are a
turtle. I
cloth.
do like that this. I like that this list opted to play the Hisuian Electrode too. It's fun. I'm looking at the 4th place list, so I don't know. I think they're still like Badu is definitely like kind of like funneling the game into where like decks that play this card are probably pretty good. I still do think there's like enough like variety in the meta. That it's there. You still have plenty of deck options unless you like want to play Charizard or Regidrago. Otherwise, good luck. The only other deck I want to bring note of here is there. Where is it? There's an Arcaludon list that was playing the Zamazenta V-Star, which I'm a huge fan of. I don't know if you're familiar with what that card does.
Doesn't it do something about like drawing 6 cards?
The V form, it's Rotom, but you discard your hand and draw 5 and it ends your turn. And then the V Star, you flip it. Your opponents, all your Pokemon in the next turn take 100 less damage. So It's insane. You know what's scarier than 300 HP stage 1 Pokemon? A 400 HP stage 1 Pokemon.
Yeah. That is definitely scary. And playing the black belts in there too.
I like that card. I think that card's kind of cool.
Attacks does 40 more damage. Changes some math for you. 260 can be relevant. I also hate this deck because it plays 3 jamming tower, and it's just really annoying, and I hate it.
It's like having T-Mobile. Just have no
Yeah.
service ever.
Such a small deck too. Like if you think about it, like
It's
not
really
that
funny
many
when you
different
like look
cards.
at it on paper. Yeah, you play like 10 Pokemon in the deck. It's very
Yeah,
strange.
strange. Yeah, but that's really all my kind of thoughts on it. I didn't really see anything else that was like, whoa, nuts. A lot of Pidgeot control too. When you look through the list, people are
Yeah,
cringe
control's
individuals.
obviously always going to be good. So I think this is going to have a good effect on what we can look forward to in in the UIC, which you obviously again are going to. So that's what 2 weeks.
Bro, it's next week.
That's next week.
Yeah,
Are you serious?
for sure.
Oh,
I know.
are you packed yet?
No.
You sure you don't
Yeah,
have to go to San Diego last second?
no, I'm going. We're leaving Wednesday night, the 19th.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
crazy. That's literally next week.
Wow.
Are you going to go to league or are you going to go to the airport?
No, the flight's at like 3 o'clock.
So you're not going to league.
No.
So I'm gonna have to go to Applebee's by myself, is what you're telling me. So
Yes. Si,
you know they
senor.
don't. You know they don't have Applebee's in England, right? I could be
Thank,
making that up. I don't know.
thank God.
All right. Well, Merida was fun. Azul's the goat. I'm very happy that we're gonna get to see Azul compete in Worlds this year. Obviously he took a like we kind of like didn't. We talked about obviously the finals, but like Azul, I think decided on a deck like 2 days before the tournament. He streamed himself building it on live, and then he wins the tournament with it. He's just better than all of us. He's insane.
I don't really get it. Like, how could he be that good? I don't really get it. Like, it's just
Some people,
honestly, it was kind of deflating for me to watch. I'd be like, I'm never going to be good at this game. Like, what am I doing? What am I doing with my life?
it really makes you think introspectively about what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm stoked on it. I'm excited we get to see Azul play in Worlds this year, so it'll be
Yeah.
fun. So kudos to him. That being said, obviously rotation still a thing that's preeminent on a lot of people's mind. We got a reveal of a new set coming out in Japan in March. Obviously, Japan gets new sets every other month. It feels like they get 2 mini sets that combine into one of our big sets. So we got the reveal of Heatwave Arena, which they're going to be getting on March 14th. Features 63 cards and some trainers Pokemon. This is probably going to be part of our May set, which I think they just revealed the name of that's going to be like Destined Rivals or something like that.
Why
So
did they get everything so much ahead of us? It's so crazy. Like,
I couldn't tell you, man.
they
I
got to
could not
figure
tell
that
you.
out, dude.
They're literally playing like way deep into the future than we are. It's
It's
insane.
so like stupid. I just don't get it. But whatever.
I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I think there was like one period of time where we were like pretty like on par with each other, but now they're just like forget about it. They're like Luminion V. What the hell is that? I haven't heard that.
You
I
guys still
haven't heard
play
that name
that?
in years.
You still play
you
that
also
crap?
you also play that? That's crazy. Yeah, so we got the reveal of some new trainers Pokemon. Obviously, the pack art features the likes of Arvin and Cynthia. We didn't get any reveal of those cards. We'll probably get those on Thursday night or Friday morning. But we got the reveal of some 2 new trainers cards, including Misty. Shout out to the Gen 1ers out there. And did you fall into the camp of people that knew what the protagonist names from Gold and Silver was? Ethan, did you know that?
Oh, no, I had no idea. Are you kidding me? You think I do that?
I mean, I have the Pokemon autism, so I knew that. So
I
I'm
had
just asking.
no idea, bro. Not even one part of me had any idea. When you guys were saying Ethan in the group chat, I'm like, you talking about Heggy? Like the caster? What are you guys talking about?
It's like the meme of the guy like holding the beer, just like pointing at himself. Like, you talking about me? Like,
I don't know what you guys are
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah, we got the reveal of some Ethan's Pokemon. For those of you not inclined, like George was, Ethan is the name of the protagonist from Gold and Silver, otherwise known as Gold. In I believe only known officially as Gold in the manga. But that's the protagonist from Gold and Silver. Got the reveal of a few of his Pokemon, which include the Ethan's Ho-Oh, the Ethan's Quilava. He has his own supporter card, which is Ethan's Adventure. And what's the pre-evolved form of Macargo called again? I'm like
Slugma?
slug my balls, bro. Let's go. Yeah, gotcha.
What just happened?
Slug my balls.
Slug my balls?
Yeah.
What is slug? Is that a term your kids are saying now these days?
Did you not? It's
I get it. I get it.
you're just now you got me back. Now you're
Yeah, I just wasn't gonna be getting. I wasn't gonna sit here and got. You know.
all right.
So
That's smart. That's smart of you.
yeah, whatever.
You still got your fastball. You still know how to do this. I don't know why you
Yeah.
were so afraid.
But the thing I'll say about Ethan's adventure, another broken like trainer supporter, like or
That's really
trainers
good.
trainer supporter. I don't know how else to say that. You know what I mean? It's not a
Yeah.
trainer supporter, like it's a trainer card, of course, but like the trainers of the trainers archetype
Yeah.
or engine, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
Right? Search your deck up to the 3 in any combination of Ethan's Pokemon and basic fire energy, reveal them and put them into your hands. That's really good. Like
Yeah.
that's like not fair. It's not as good as Hop's freaking VIP pass, but when you read Ho-Oh, shout out to Ho-Oh, like Bad Bunny once famously said, Lugia, Ho-Oh, Josoi, Legendario. But
Muy bien.
I'm working on my Spanish, man. Once during your turn, you may attach 2 basic fire energy from your hand to one of your bench Ethan's Pokemon. So, am I just like, what are we doing? We're just making this deck broken. Like, what are we doing?
And that's pretty good. Now, granted, I think someone brought up a great point. That the thing about these new EX cards that are going to be coming out compared to like older EX cards that we got like at Scarlet and Violet base, those EX cards had to have like kind of people are like looking at these newer cards and being like, like they don't seem as broken as like what we already have. I think the reason that is because they think the Pokemon company is very clearly trying to scale the power level back a little bit. Pokemon like Gardevoir and Charizard had to be broken to compete with what were already the broken like V-Star Pokemon. So you look at a thing like Ethan's Ho-Oh, which 160 damage, you heal 50 from each of your Pokemon. On paper, that's not going to look great right now, but that's really good. It's energy acceleration. You have a supporter that helps you find the energy. You have a Pokemon that helps you find the supporter. Shout out to Quilava the goat. I love that guy. That's one of my favorite Pokemon. So you get the Quilava that lets you search out the Ethan supporter. And you can also I've seen people like kind of already like in the kitchen with this deck. You can play it with the Armarouge that moves fire around. You can play it with Armarouge EX that that can tank hits and do a lot of damage for a lot of energy. So there's a lot of potential for like not just this deck on its own in its own archetype, but also as like a fire toolbox type of deck, which I think is really cool.
Bro, this deck is broken. Like, I don't get it. Like, Ethan's Typhlosion, you do 60 more for each Ethan's Adventure card in the discard pile. If you have, just say 3 in there, you're doing 220 for 1 fire with this Typhlosion. If you have 4, you're doing 280 damage for 1 fire. Like, what are people talking about? This is absolutely busted. If you have 2 Ho-Ohs on your bench, and I'm playing Superior Energy Retrieval after I use Ethan's Marcargo, and I have that one in the active, it retreats for free, and then I can put 4 energy on Marcargo attached for hand, attached for turn from hand on Ethan Marcargo, and I can do 350 damage with a 1 prizer.
Yeah.
This list
That's
is
really
busted, bro. It's absolutely busted. I don't understand. Like, people, like, to your point, you just said people are like, oh, like these EX aren't as good as the ones currently in the format. The Ho is it stacks, like, and it's a basic EX. attaches 2 fire energy to Ethan's Pokemon. Come on, like what are we talking about here? This is busted.
Listen, they knew that I was going to be losing Lugia V-Star, so they had to give me a broken Johto Pokemon to kind of keep myself alive, going forward. So I'm into it. No, and in all seriousness, yeah, I agree. I think there's a lot of good stuff here. A lot of these cards look good on paper, and I look forward to seeing people much smarter than me kind of put something together with this. On the other side of that, though, the thing that I'm not as excited about are these Misty's Pokemon. They only revealed 3, technically 2, but it's the Gyarados and the Psyduck. It just does. I'm not impressed on surface level with this. The Psyduck's cool though. I like Psyduck, but other than that, I don't really see this. I need to see more Pokemon from the Misty's archetype before I can like really give a
Well,
good grade on it. But on first impression, I'm not a huge. I don't get it.
I like what I guess what you're supposed to do is you take the Psyducks, you put them on your bench, right? And then you discard the bottom card of your deck, and then you put the Psyduck on top, and then you go ahead and swing for 1 water energy, Missy's Magikarp, discard your top 7 cards, and then if you do that 3 times, you're doing automatically 210 damage plus whatever else is the next 4 cards in your deck with the Psyduck. So I guess that's how that works. But then you're always getting rid of the bottom card in your deck. Like, I don't know. Like, that could be bad, no?
That is weird. Yeah. I don't know from example like of if there's other cards that have ever been like this where you just again it's the slapstick jump is what it's called is what it's translated to on Poker Beach. Um Discarding your bottom card seems weird. It seems like this deck is you're just gonna be milling through a lot of your resources. So like you're gonna probably have to play like heavy recovery cards, like Super Rod, maybe something like the Lana's Aid is a card that might be good in this deck. I can kind of see the vision of it a little bit. Like if Psyduck is buddy, boff, and searchable. So you play a 4 of those. You play like an X amount of the Magikarps. You go first. You evolve in the next turn. You put all those Psyducks to the top of your deck. You're doing 280, which is like a good number to hit. So I guess I can kind of see it. But also again, it's a lot of this deck is screams like a combo deck. Like I think if you're just missing one of these pieces, it's going to really kind of put you on the back foot. But we'll see what other Misty's Pokemon we get too. We haven't really. I'm
Right.
assuming they're going to give her more than these. That'd be kind of criminal if they didn't.
That would be really rude. Also, one of my favorite Pokemon cards of all time when I was a young man, 14 years old, you know what I was playing? Misty's Tentacruel. It was a hit and run deck. They bring that back, I might be all in. I might be all in on Misty. So I don't know. We'll see. But one other thing on there, Kyle, that you could kind of bring up, Ethan's Pichu is a Badoo killer, and you draw a
Yeah,
card,
and it's
and
cute.
and yeah, sure, and the Sacred Ash item card. Shuffle up to 5 Pokemon from your discard pile into your deck. You may play this as many. That's just saying what item cards do. I don't need
Yeah,
to read that. I'm stupid. But
yeah. Sacred Ash getting reprinted for the first time since X and Y, I believe. So
that's
that's
a
cool.
really good recovery card for Pokemon, though.
Yeah.
It's very good. So
And that means, and I believe they errated the original Sacred Ash. The old Sacred Ash from Flashfire. I believe you had to shuffle 5 Pokemon. This one is now up to 5 Pokemon, so to kind of catch up with the language of the modern game. Yeah, it's good. Again, I like that they're printing cards within these engines to kind of run together. Uh, Pichu again, another baby Pokemon, 30 HP, free retreat, free attack. Knocks out Badoo. I think that's already on its own warrants. Playing one of them. I like these cards a lot, and we obviously got hints of Cynthia's Garchomp coming. We got hints of Arven's Mabostiff coming. So we'll see how those cards maybe compete. I would love for a good Garchomp card, man. Like Garchomp is so cool. I just feel like the cards in the TCG, since it's 2010, I feel like it's been kind of like lacking a little bit in the power level. So
yeah, I think though, like this format kind of is a lot like 2010, in a way where or kind of 20. or 2009, I think, is
Things
when
are going to slow down a lot. They're
like
going to
when
slow down a lot.
well, when did the first EX come out? It was like 2006.
2000, yes, with
So
Ruby and Sapphire.
I feel like they're taking like things from each of those kind of generations. Like we had the EX that were like kind of overpowered, going to trainer Pokemon with like Team Plasma and Team Aqua type stuff, you know? And then we're going to go into what everybody assumes because they trademarked um, Mega Pokemon, kind of like into that level X type of thing where you know I'm sure that you're gonna have to use. There's not gonna be like a keystone thing that makes you evolve or like the spirit link or anything like that, but it's gonna be you know you have to evolve it in the active like a level up like level X you know kind of worked out in that mechanic. So I mean I'm just spitballing here. I don't know that for sure. So no one take my word for that. But I've
Yeah.
always just assumed that's how mega evolutions were going to work. It's probably going to have to be in the active.
Yeah, I mean, considering that the next major set coming out is confirmed to be Destined Rivals, that's going to be coming out in May. Um, I think we can assume we're going to get megas at like the end of the format, like the whenever Pokemon Legends ZA comes out. We'll probably get more about that at Worlds. Honestly, I think that'll probably be the big Worlds reveal. But I agree. I think you can just kind of tell with how they're printing these cards. They're trying to kind of scale things back a little bit. Being two-shotting a Pokemon's okay. There's still gonna be Pokemon that can one-shot you. Obviously, Raging Bolt is still around. There's still plenty of like big bench sitters that are going to give up multiple prize cards. But I do think Pokemon's trying to rein back the power level just a little bit, and I think it's showing with the new cards we're getting here. But yeah, Destined Rivals is what we're going to get these cards. So these will be right around, depending on when we get these. Oh, so the set release is May 30th, which means I think it'll be legal for NAIC, if I'm correct. Let me look at the old calendar app here. Yeah, May 30th to the 6th, and NAIC is that following weekend, second weekend of May. So this is going to be our NAIC set. Exciting
Yeah.
stuff.
Are you ready to do the Squawk and Seas? Oh no, we got to do something before that. Sorry.
Oh yeah, well we'll get the Squawk and Seas in a second.
I'm just
But yeah,
pumped for it. I'm pumped for it.
yeah, this is gonna be a fun one this week. So that's gonna be it for the Pokemon card stuff this week. We're now gonna transition into what everyone loves to hear us talk about. The Super Bowl happened this past week. So George, how was your Super Bowl Sunday?
It was okay. Actually, I went to a bar at 10 a.m. on Sunday for a different kind of sporting event. I was watching Scotland versus Ireland in the I forget what it's called, like the top 25 Guinness whatever championships, whatever they call it. So I was watching
Yeah,
rugby on Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday.
nice.
Made a little wager on Ireland. It was fun. It was cool. And then we went to watch the game. It was a dog shit game. Let's be honest. It was so boring. I put a little wager on tails. I won that. That was probably the most excitement I had all game. Um, to me, man, the only thing to really talk about Super Bowl Sunday is Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, great stuff. Absolutely great stuff. The actual game itself, couldn't care less about it. I didn't partake in any sports bets. I lost out on every office pool that I played in, and the game itself was kind of a stinker. Like as fun as it was to watch the Chiefs get their break spreed off. And I'm sure you were in hell as a Giants fan watching the Eagles.
That's why I don't
Win.
want to talk about it. Honestly, I just like it was disgusting.
You weren't. Yeah, it was going to be a bad day for you regardless. But listen, the game was just so non-competitive. Like blowouts in the Super Bowl are so boring to watch. Especially like given like how bad that was. Like they were getting the Chiefs were getting absolutely like spanked. So all I was looking forward to was a halftime show, and Kendrick Lamar, spoiler alert, came through and crushed it. If you're a Drake fan, I'm sorry. You
Rip,
wow.
rip. Yeah, I mean, I'll say this. I don't know. I don't want to get too like political. I'm gonna try to stray away from that. But like, I don't know if that stuff needs to be like shown on national television. I don't know. Call me old fashioned, but like talking about those kind of topics on national television when like kids are watching. Like I get it, like it's making awareness kids in a way, but like you get what I'm saying, Kyle. I don't know. We all knew he was going to do it. I was really hoping he wasn't going to though, because I'm like, man, where are we as like a country? Like it's kind of messed up.
That's just what Kendrick does. He's very the messaging in his music is very front facing and prominent. That again, there was no doubt in my mind he was gonna do it, and he crushed it. Not like us is a banger. It cleaned up at the Grammys. It cleaned up at the Super Bowl. Uh, you know, Travis Kelsey might retire. If anyone cares about that, I don't really care.
I think he
Um,
definitely retires. I mean, why would he stay?
he he looked old, man. He did
He
not look
looked
great.
old and slow as shit.
Yeah,
Every time he caught the ball, I was like, what is he like? He's not going anywhere.
I was
You
just like,
know?
he looks. I'm just watching. Like my brother and I kept making comments. It's like they just look so bad. Like they look a step slow. Travis Kelsey definitely looked old, and but he's not even that old. Like I mean, for football, for a tight end, he's old. He's in his like mid-30s, so like that's tough for that position. So
Also what stat I didn't realize all season that they were talking about. The Eagles offensive line had the biggest offensive line to start a Super Bowl in NFL history.
yeah,
And that one dude, speaking about rugby, the Australian guy, Matia,
yeah, Jordan, yeah, yeah, I know
Mailata, I think it is.
Myalata, yeah.
Yeah. 6'8", 330 pounds. Like, what the hell? What a freaking unit, bro. Like, and Lane Johnson's also like 6'5". Like, dude, and I don't know, that's a huge offensive line. That's like crazy. And then when you watch the game, like Saquon didn't have like a great game, but the fact that they could just get 3 or 4 yards every single time they wanted to, like that offensive line is just disgusting, bro. Like,
And he
um,
got big first downs when he needed to.
they
There's
did.
two huge first downs when he needed to.
And the other thing I'll say is the defensive line for the Eagles just dismantled. Like Patrick Mahomes had no time all game. He couldn't even breathe for a second. And um, yeah, when they can't get things going downfield, they don't have much of anything. So it was sad to see. Honestly, I wish the Bills would have won. I think if it was Bills Eagles, it would have been a much more compelling game. Especially seeing Josh Allen, like make some magic happen. Because Jalen Hurts, you got to give it to him. I mean, I hate him. I hate the Eagles, but what a game! He had a hell of a game, dude. Dude could do no wrong in that game. He was and his passes. I don't think he's really known as an accurate passer. He was just putting the ball wherever the hell he wanted. So good for
I was like,
them.
just
Screw him though. I hate him.
yeah. Excuse my French for a second, but like that, like fuck you touchdown he threw and they're up 24-0 or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, like you have that is just like to the like literally to the dome, like kill shot. That was insane stuff. Again, I'm not an Eagles fan by any stretch of the imagination. I root for the New Orleans Saints, ironically. So hey, Kellen Moore, can you still play quarterback? Because this
Yeah.
team stinks.
Well, that's the other thing too. When you think about it, the Cowboys were dog shit this year, and you see how good that offense was playing with Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore was the offensive coordinator for the Cowboys last year. Sure, they were injured all year, but I mean, man, like Kellen Moore, he could play. He could
Mhm.
play call for sure, and they they weren't doing anything fancy, and they were just like,
No.
"Hey, this is us. Try to stop us. No, you can't." So
Yeah.
not like
Yep.
us.
They not like us, for sure. So we'll see what happens. Again, I'm a struggling Saints fan, so I don't have much optimism for the future. But if Kellen Moore is the next coming of Sean McVay, I'll take it. So we'll cross that bridge when Arch Manning gets drafted #1 overall next year. We'll see what happens. That being said, Squawk and Seas is here. I thought this was going to be a fun. This is one of the more creative ones I came up with. So I got inspired by a TikTok I saw that did this with basketball players, with basketball. So I was like, okay, so me and George are each gonna we're each gonna fantasy draft. We're gonna do a little bit differently this week. We're gonna fantasy draft. Let's say six. We're gonna fantasy draft 6 Pokemon that we think could start on an off in an NFL game. That could be like starters in an NFL game.
I'm taking this seriously, sir.
Yeah.
I
Now,
got
if we're gonna go by real fantasy draft rules, we can't draft when it's gone. It's gone. We can't take it. So
right. So we're going
so we're gonna
one quarterback, two wide receivers, two running backs.
a tight end and then a wild card. You want to do that?
So 7 positions.
Or you want to do 6? How about we do one running back, one tight end, and
One
a
running
wild
back.
card?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I'll go first.
I know.
All right. All right. So I was thinking about this one for a bit. So I'm going to be drafting my quarterback first. And
wait, are we doing like a snake draft? Like you go first and I go 2 and then you go 2?
Yeah, we can do that. We can snake it.
Yeah, we got to snake
Yeah,
it.
we got to make it fair. Yeah. So a serpentine draft, if you will. So I'm gonna draft my quarterback first. All right. I'm looking at this guy. All right. He's got pocket presence. He's got he's a winner. He doesn't play in a big conference. You know, he plays for he plays in a smaller conference school, but plays way above his into the biggest moment. 6'7", 182, big guy, always has the rock in his hand. The quarterback to lead my team is going to be Passimian.
That's not bad.
Yeah. Like Bros literally has the rock in his hand at all times. Unironically, I love Passimian as a Pokemon. I enjoy like primates in general. They're some of my favorite animals, and he's a cool Pokemon. He's literally has a football in his hand. I'm pretty sure I think he can learn Fling. I would hope he can. Yeah, he can. So he's real. I don't know what his pro comps would be. I'd say like a Josh Allen. Small school guy. Good size, can really develop in a system. So I'm taking Passimian number 1 overall.
All right, Passimian. Let me write that down. Passimian. All right. For my first pick, he's literally a football player, Pokemon. For running back, going running back first overall, because that's what you do in fantasy football. I don't know if you know this. It's a novice move, taking a quarterback first. But I'm gonna give me my starting running back, Chestnut. We're talking. Come on, man. Are you kidding me? We're talking 5'3", 198.4. He's pretty much Maurice Jones-Drew back there. All right, and he's a spiny armor Pokemon. Dude is literally wearing shoulder pads. Like this. I think isn't like Chestnut V. Like its move called touchdown.
I think you might be right.
Yeah, he's just scoring touchdowns, bro. So give me Chestnut as my running back, and then on my way back, my next pick. Since you already got a quarterback, I got to make sure that I'm evening up here. Coming from the overseas division out of Galler. We're going to get a real accurate Pokemon here to sling it for us. 6'3", 99 pounds. He's got a little bit of like Lamar Jackson in him. Give me Inteleon with what is it? Not the Shady Dealings, the other one. What was it?
Quick shooting.
Quick shooting. He's quick draw McGraw back there. Give me Inteleon as my quarterback.
Not a bad call. Slim frame, but like agile.
Lamar Jackson. Yeah,
athletic.
He's fast too. He'll run on you, bro. He'll take off. He's fast.
All right, good choices. I do agree. It was a novice move for me to go quarterback first, but I had to make sure I got could have got him in the next round, but it's fine.
Simeon though, I think is a good call. I was staring him down in the
first round talent. First round talent.
You're right. You're right.
Definitely invited to the John Gruden quarterback room. All right, looking at the field here.
I'm a little afraid you're going to take my guy, man. If you take my guy, I'll be pissed.
I am. I've got some ideas here, so I got to go running back here. I got to go running back with my next choice. This guy has got great, and he's got on paper great. Strong frame, fiery, fan favorite, standing at 6'3", 114 pounds. Got to put some muscle on, but great comps from the Hoenn region has speed boost as an ability. I will be drafting Blaziken as my running back.
Blaziken, yeah. That's a good one.
Good choice. Literally has speed boost as an ability, so he's going to get faster every time. Got those real powerful legs. He's got like Saquon Barkley like type legs. He's going to be able to jump over people at will. 6'3", Derrick Henry size, running through people every day of the week, bro. I'm taking Blaziken. So,
all right, I like it.
now I gotta keep him with the times here. I gotta. This is a tough one because there's a. I'm looking at just like pure athletes here. And all right, one definitely comes to mind here. Just in terms of I think I'm gonna go. I already got my running back. I gotta go wide receiver here. Going wide out. This guy, he's gonna mentally wear you down a bit. It's got great size, 6'7", tall target.
Okay, not taking my guy. Thank God.
Got some length here. I'm taking Mewtwo as my wide receiver.
Mewtwo's a good one. He was circled on my draft sheet. He was
He's on the draft board.
I will say I think you took him a little early. I was gunning him down in the third round, or no. This is now my third pick. I was looking at him in the fifth round, but I got to take this guy now. I can't believe he's still on the board. I think you messed up, buddy. But we're going intergalactic on this one. Getting an ultra beast. And I'm going with the guy, Buzzwole at tight end. 7'10", 735 pounds. How you stopping him, bro? You ain't stopping him. Ain't no way. He's a force to be reckoned with. Buzzwole. Man, he should have been number one off the board. I was like, I don't think he's going to see it. He's not going to see it. So I got my two other guys. But Buzzwole, 7'10", 735 pounds. What are you doing against that? How are you stopping that?
I definitely fumbled the bag on that one, but he had some pre-draft things that kind of scared me a little bit. He had some very cryptic tweets.
Yeah, the Ultra Beast culture is not the same, in America. It's
yeah, there's this weird tweet of him going around in a gas mask. I didn't really like it. Kind of steered the draft experts away from him a bit. No, listen, that's a great choice, and I'm mad at myself for not seeing it. Like, bro is quite literally built like a house. Like those are tough intangibles to ignore.
I'm 7'10". It's nuts. Could you imagine seeing that in person? I'd shit my pants.
I'm folding.
Yeah.
All right, so it goes back around to you.
So I'm gonna do something a little interesting here because we got size on this team, right? But I got Inteleon back there. He's gonna be making plays in the pocket. I don't think Buzzwole's that fast. You know what I mean? He's more of our red zone target. When we get down there, like we're going with him. So how are we getting there, right? Obviously, Chestnut. He's a good one in the red zone too. He's gonna get us those crucial third down conversions. But we need a little scat back there, wide receiver, a little slot receiver. So I'm going to go with a little guy here, but he's quick too, man. Give me a Fernape, 3'11", 121 pounds. My little slot receiver.
Little Wes Welker.
Little Wes Welker action, yeah.
Little Danny Amendola. All right, I'm into it.
You get it.
I'm into it. That's a good choice. Listen, I love me a slot receiver, man. I love me an undersized, like chip on your shoulder type guy.
You ever watch The League?
I have watched The League, yes.
So you ever see the episode with Golden Tate when they're like, "You're slot shaming"?
Yeah. So funny. Oh my god. All right, that's a good draft quiz. You're rounding out quite a bit. So you have where are we at now? You have what's your team look like right now?
I got Inteleon quarterback and Fernape at wide receiver, Chestnut at running back, and Buzzwole at tight end.
All right, so we each get two more. So these are my last two.
No, three more.
Oh, so I got three more. Okay.
Wide receiver. Wide
receiver at tight end.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Because I got Passimian, I got Blaziken, I got Mewtwo, and then I got
Yeah, we said 6 though.
Yeah.
All right, so we're doing 5. Whatever. Do 5.
We're doing 5? No, are we doing 5?
I mean, that's 5. Oh no, I have 4. I'm shot.
Yeah.
You only have you have 3 more. I have 2 more. because you went
Yeah.
first. Yeah,
Yeah.
you have the
Okay.
last pick, last two
All right.
picks.
So I got a wide receiver, my wild card, and a tight end. All right. So we're gonna go. I could probably wait on. All right. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go wide receiver. I'm gonna take a. I'm gonna take a play out of your book. I'm looking at someone maybe a little undersized, maybe a little underlooked. Good 6th-round draft pick talent, but like played at a popular school, was like the second option at like in a Big Ten school or something like that. Playing with a little bit of little what's the word I'm looking for? A little stink to him, a little bit of some undersized, underlooked receiver here. And I think in that category, I will be drafting all hands team. I'm going to be drafting Machamp as my wide
Champ.
as my yeah.
I mean, he's got a
Five
lot of
three,
hands.
yeah, 5'3", little undersized, but got great vertical. He's that one guy you'll see on TikTok for like weeks. Excellent size factor there. So I'm drafting Machamp with as my wide receiver. I think I'm gonna go tight end here and save wild card for last. In the same vein where you went Ultra Beast, I am going paradox here. This guy at the goal line, you're not stopping him. He's Mike Vrabel in the Super Bowl, where he's going to catch 11 touchdown passes and 11 career attempts. I'm taking Iron Hands as my tight end.
Iron hands. I like
Literally
it.
all hands. Like went to a good tight end school. Like definitely went to like a Midwestern school, like Iowa, in Ohio State. Just one of the next great tight end. Next great podcast host turned tight end. So I'm taking Iron Hands as my tight end.
Okay. All right. I like it. Now, I got. I'm confused at wide receiver. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm very confused. I think I know where I'm going flex because I think he could be okay anywhere, but at wide receiver, I'm a little confused. So I'm going to go with my flex first, and I think he's been overlooked in this draft. If I'm being honest with you, standing at 7'3", and got good size to him. 463 pounds. Known for one of his, or their move. They could be either male or female. I don't know who I'm drafting, but give me Dragon Knight as my flex.
Oh,
Could,
good choice.
could fly. Doesn't have the biggest hands, but has hands. He could maybe run the ball too. You could use him on the goal line. Listen, we just got to get to the goal line, and then we're doing things. How are we getting there? We need a deep threat, man. I'm looking at people here. I'm looking at Pokemon here. I'm getting a little confused because the ones that I want to take actually don't have hands, and that's not going to work here for as a wide receiver.
No.
Man, oh god. Because you want a big body. Because I got Infernape already, right? Like I need
Yeah.
another big body.
You need some size.
I need some size. I need someone fast though. I need that vertical threat. I'm looking at people like Incineroar. I'm going Incineroar. Put Incineroar at wide receiver. We're taking Incineroar. I think the claws. He might deflate the football. I'm not entirely sure, but he's at 5'11", 183 pounds. I think that's like a good size for a wide receiver.
Good. You got two good locker room guys for sure. And Dragonite definitely screams good locker room guy. Leads the team huddle. And Incineroar is one of the best Pokemon ever created by man. So I mean, you can't go wrong with that.
I mean, just look at him. He just looks like an athlete. Like
Yeah.
you probably could throw him at anywhere, but like let him play wide receiver. Like let's see what happens.
Good choice. Good choice. All right, you got a pretty solid team there. I am going to round up my team. We got some heavy hitters here. I think for my flex spot, it's tough. It's real tough. I got speed. I got decent size. I think I'm going to double down on size though, just because I need bodies. You know what? Underrated. Good height on this guy. I'm going to take Baxcalibur. Baxcalibur 6'11", 463 can can be your second tight end set. Not a bad choice. Yeah, I'm taking back Excalibur. That's a good size. Can be your second tight end in a tight end set. Good goal line threat. Can't go wrong here. So
He's got these little arms, though. He's got these little arms.
that's true, but it's fine. It's fine. Just put it right there. And Pacini is going to get him every time in between the numbers. He'll be fine.
So I think what we do here now, Kyle, because this is Squawk and C's still, right? And we did a fun segment here, but I think we got to take this to Twitter and let the people squawk or C's, or which one are they squawking? My team or your team?
Yeah, I think we got to take to the streets. So this tweet will go live tomorrow morning, so you guys can. By the time you get this podcast, you guys will chime in already. But yeah, look out for that. I think this is fun. I think we got to do more of these in the future. I think this is a good exercise.
You know, the one thing I'm looking at my team that I'm a little worried about: can the water Pokemon throw to the fire Pokemon? That might not work. That might not work.
might cause some problems. You might have some synergy issues there.
Ball might get a little wet, and they might not want to catch it. I don't know.
All I'm saying is someone on my team will make a great broadcaster in 20 years for sure. But that's going to be it for this week's episode of the podcast. George, we had a good one this week. So it was good to get the band back together. Just this, you and me, no guests, just kind of coasting together, having a little bit of fun. So let the people know where they can find you.
Yeah. You can find me over at the X, where I will be posting a little graphic of our teams here at the Pony Bottle Champ. That's PNYBTL Champ. And then also, on TCG Live, find me there. I'll be testing for UIC all week.
Yeah, and we'll be helping out with that as for sure. You guys can check me out at Koopa NJ on Twitter. I got some Pokemon commentary gigs coming up in the next couple of months, which will be fun. Obviously, I'm doing late night every Wednesday, and I got some other stuff coming up that I can announce probably at the end of this month. We'll cross that bridge later. But yeah, check me out on Twitter. Obviously, check out the podcast wherever on Spotify, on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. We really appreciate you guys hanging and checking out with us. And until next time, see you guys. Good night, everyone.